Coach, is there any clarity on Tristan's status right now?
Yeah, he was limited today, and I think it's something that we're just going to take into account kind of as the week goes on and see where he's at. But yeah, he was out there today, limited. Chance Nolan took a lot of reps today as well, and yeah, like I said, we'll see how he progresses throughout the week.
How are you approaching it? Is it as if he won't be available and you just get Chance, as ready as possible, or do you kind of balance the two? It's kind of a tricky thing, I know.
Yeah, it's a tricky thing when you don't know for sure where he's going to be at by the end of the week. But I think it's just like every week we're trying to get the backup guy ready. He maybe had a few more reps today than he normally does. But in Chance is just like he has every other week, has got to prepare like the starter and be ready to go if he's called upon.
Your offense basically remains the same regardless of those two quarterbacks, which one plays.
Yeah, I mean there'll probably be a few wrinkles that fit his skill set in the pass game and in the run game. A few differences, minor differences, but we kind of stick to the scheme of what we do and the things that those guys have repped throughout training camp.
Is there anything that Chance does, I don't want to say better than Tristan, but does really well that could maybe add a different element to this offense?
I think he's a little bit better of an athlete, and with his feet able to maybe extend some plays when things break down. And we saw that through the course of camp, and when things would break down around him, he had the ability to extend it and go make some plays in the scramble drill, maybe a little bit more than Tristan does.
Your guys' offensive line, it seems like they had a much better game. How just pleased were you with that performance overall?
Yeah, I thought, that was a pretty impressive defensive front, and I thought those guys, our guys came out and played physical, did a nice job in the run game. And then I thought we improved in pass protection. There's still some things where we gave up some pressures and the QB got hit, but I thought it was improvement from the Cal game. And we got in the 2-minute drill, and those guys were able to protect and allow Tristan to make some throws and us to get down there and move the ball.
Do you think that's even more impressive when they're throwing guys like Thibodeau and some of those guys at you?
Yeah, that guy's a good player. One of the best in the country and a future pro. So for us to be able to, have a little bit of success moving the ball in the run game and then hold up in protection throughout the course of the game, for the most part, I thought that was a pretty good to see.
And for them to, you guys lose Noose and throw Montavon in there to kind of not have any drop off there. Was that nice to see as well?
Yeah, I think that was something that we pointed out on Sunday. We got back there as a unit. We were really impressed by his performance. He stepped in and did a nice job. I thought. I didn't feel like we really missed a beat.
Chances had some burn with the ones you mentioned the last couple weeks in practice, but if you're running him more with the ones, which I would assume you might be, how much does that change what you're able to add to the offense? Does anything change as far as putting any new wrinkles in and that kind of stuff because you want to get him more up to speed with what you have now? How does he change the way you approach it?
Yeah, I think we kind of stick true to kind of our core of what we are, and I think with any other QB that you put in there, each of them has some things that they're better at than the other guy, or they're a little bit more comfortable with, a little bit more natural with, and so I think there'll be a few tweaks. If he ends up being the guy and ends up being in there, we'll have some tweaks that fit his skill set.
Did Tristan take any reps with the first team today?
Yeah, he was out there just very limited, very limited today. And like I said, we'll kind of see we'll see where he's at as we get into Thursday, Friday.
How would you describe Utah's defense and the challenges that it poses?
Yeah, Utah, I think is traditionally one of the best defenses in the Pac-12. Those guys, been running that system for a long time, and they got after us a year ago at home, pretty good. It was a pretty embarrassing performance for us, and they just They very sound in what they do. I think their defensive line plays, really physical up front. They challenge you up on the secondary with a lot of man coverage, and it's going to be a challenge for us in all areas. And we've got to come up, match their physicality up front, and then we got to win some one-on-one battles on the perimeter.
Any other questions? What's the next step for the offense right now, Coach?
I think just consistency, and we moved the ball. I felt like, pretty good throughout the game last week. And there were some drives that we just were unable to finish in the first half, particularly. We settled with 2 field goals that were pretty frustrating. And then I think right now, just our third down, we're a little bit low on our percentage on third downs. And that's something that we've been focused on and really challenged our guys that we've got to be a little bit more productive in the third down area and stay on the field.
How, I guess, kind of disappointing is it for you guys to see Tristan have, what Jonathan called his best game of the year, and then have this injury and not be able to kind of build on that progress?
Yeah, if he's unable to go this week, I think it's really frustrating because it's like, man, it's just a thing for a young guy that maybe had struggled a little bit at times early in the season, particularly in the past, in the past game, to get some things going, get a big win. And I just think it was huge for his confidence to be able to come back and just build on that performance this week would be huge. And so hopefully we're able to get him back and going.
What were a few things that you saw him doing better against Oregon than he was doing in past weeks?
Well, I think he stood in there and he made some throws under pressure. I think there was a huge third down conversion, maybe 3rd and 10. And he took a good shot, stood in there, hit Colby Taylor down the middle of the field. That was a big conversion early in the game. And, and then I just think, I guess, decision-making and hitting the open guy in the pass game. Those were some of the things that we just hadn't been as consistent on early on. And that was good to see. And I felt like we got the pass game, a little bit of rhythm going, and to finish it out in the 2-minute drill, he got some completions to get us down there. I think that was a big step as well.
With Chance, in the event that he does have to play, you haven't really seen him, obviously, in a game environment. You don't really know what plays he might thrive off or circumstances. How does that affect your planning? And do you kind of talk to him about, hey, you like this set, or you know what I mean? Like, do you sort of collaborate on that sort of a thing to get him comfortable?
Well, we've seen him in the quarterback sneak, yeah, no, I think that's if Chance, anytime you're working with a guy that if you feel like he's going to be the starter going in, I think you're trying to get on the same page with him and see what he's comfortable with, what concepts you have in that he's comfortable with, and what he's done well throughout the course of training camp. We kind of take notes on that. But yeah, I think just getting on the same page with him and he with I, on that as well. I mean, that's something that we're always doing with our quarterbacks.
That's the first question.
Hey, Coach, what is kind of just your general evaluation of your offensive line from Friday?
Good and bad. I think really the thing I'm the happiest about, the fired up about, I thought they competed very, very hard. I thought they really tried to finish blocks. I think that, that makes for, that's the number one thing you have to be able to do. And the heart that they had, I was very, very fired up about. I think we left some things out there in the run game, and I thought our play action protection was good, but our drop back protection way too inconsistent, got the quarterback hit too many times.
Do you think that was the best performance that they've put up this year, considering?
I think every time you look at it, there's a little up and down in every game. Some games you do some things better, some games you do other. I like the way we're improving. I think every week we've improved as a group. And that's something we have to keep doing. That's something we talk to them about. And that's the good teams in this league improve week to week.
Yeah. Where do you think they're at kind of progress wise compared to maybe where you would want them to be? Have they exceeded expectations?
Where you want them to be is to be the best around. We're not there. There's a lot of things we got to keep working at. And really, I don't judge it as far as, this is the end goal. I think our goal is to get better every week. And the good thing with this group is they know how to work. They want to work. I think every game so far, we've been a little bit better than the last game. We just got to continue that.
You said you guys left some things on the table for the run game. Is it a little kind of hard to nitpick them when Jamar's running for 220 yards, or are there things that you think they could do markedly better?
There's things that I think every play you look at and you evaluate, you really don't want to evaluate the game as a whole. It's every play we want to evaluate. How can we do this better? How can we be better? How can we win this and do that? And like I said, I think as the year goes on, some teams get better, so you have to get better. The stats part, I'm kind of the old school where the really only the stat matters is the one on the scoreboard at the end of the game. But like I said, I really, respect how these guys competed, the drive they had, the way they're willing to work and do the extra effort. I think that for a line coach is number one, and it's pretty cool.
It's nice to see one of your guys finally get recognized by the conference.
Yeah, I think, I'm not into all that stuff, and I think it's a great thing. I think he played a great game. And so in that way, it's pretty cool. That's one thing. It's, offensive linemen, I think sometimes we prefer to be kept in the dark and just go do your job and be a part of a team and know what you do is important and valuable. But when guys get a little recognition too, warms your heart a little bit.
Obviously, Joshua Gray took on a huge job at the start of this year as a redshirt freshman. How do you kind of think he's fared so far this year?
I think I put him in the same category. I think he's improved every week. He's gotten better. He's working on some stuff to improve his game. And I think that's what the game of football is. The best guys I've been around, they get better from game to game, from practice to practice, from year to year. And guys that have that attitude end up being really, really great players down the road.
Jonathan talked at the beginning of the year about how you guys really just like his athleticism. What do you think he kind of does well? What do you like about his game?
Well, he's got some athleticism. He can get away with some things sometimes just because he can recover out of, awkward positions and things like that. And the game of football and line play, it's never a programmed deal. It's always, you got human beings involved and all kinds of things happen. And Josh has, some recovery ability, some quickness, change of direction, things that really make it, give him a chance to get out of some bad situations and succeed.
Do you think there's been like an unsung hero kind of on this offensive line, or anybody who's exceeded expectations by a bunch?
I just think that it's a group of great men that just work their butts off. And you have Klee Montalban came in this game, got his first start, played the whole game, played well. I think, as a group, I think they all kind of fit that deal.
What's it like right now, kind of with the uncertainty at quarterback, not knowing, if Tristan's going to be ready or if it's going to be Chance? How does that affect your guys' preparation?
Honestly, I don't think it really affects us at all. In our room, we play a dependent position. So regardless of who's under center, who's taking snaps at quarterback, at the end of the day, we're dependent on whoever is back there. So I don't think it changes very much. Everybody in our room has confidence in Chance and what he can do and, what he provides for our offense. So as long as we can, stay focused and you approach the week the same way, I don't think it changes very much. We have confidence in Chance just as much as we have confidence in Tristan.
We obviously haven't been able to see Chance. What gives you that confidence? What have you seen, through camp and through the first few weeks of practice that makes you confident?
Chance is a good player. He's really athletic. The arm talent is there. You can see as camp, as we got deeper into camp, and especially now a couple weeks into the season, you can see the game starting to slow down for him and things start to unfold for him a little bit slower. And he's starting to see things better, I think, from just a comfortability standpoint at quarterback. But I mean, I'm confident. I'm confident in Chance. He's a talented player. We haven't been able to see him in game, so obviously you never really know there. But I'm confident in him just as much as everybody else. I think he's a talented player, and he's going to go out there and he's going to be able to make plays.
What kind of ball does Chance throw in comparison to Tristan? Are they a little bit different in any of those ways?
I guess so. Maybe if you're watching it from the sideline, but playing receiver and actually catching the ball, I don't think that there's very much of a difference. I think Tristan may put a little bit more on his balls here and there just because that's, you know, the style that he throws the ball with. And he's a little shorter, so sometimes he has to throw it a little bit harder. But no, there's really not a noticeable difference between the ball that they throw.
Now, when you guys walked off the field on Friday, obviously a great feeling, but thinking that maybe that was your last home game of the year and now you'll have one with Stanford coming here. How thankful are you that you guys just haven't been off track? I mean, so many teams in the league have had games postponed, delayed, and won't be made up, yet you guys have been, I guess, lucky in that regard.
For me, I just think it's a huge blessing for us in our program to not have games being canceled or postponed, or, you know, not going into every week trying to wonder, well, are we going to play? Are we not? Are we practicing for no reason, or what's going on? I think, you know, a lot of other teams haven't had that, you know, they haven't had the chance to be that fortunate, and we have. So, and then again, like you mentioned, having an extra home game, for me, I love playing away games just because of the hostile territory. That's something that like gets me going. It always has. But being able to play at home in college is great just because of the travel. You don't got to get on a plane and get on a bus and all that type of stuff. So that helps. And then again, just being comfortable playing in our stadium is great. Having an extra home game is great. It's going to be good for us.
You said you felt fortunate that, you know, in the virus, what's happened with you guys, but a lot of that is owed to you, the players, and responsibility and taking ownership and being cautious. Can you give us insight into what it's like right now being a player and having to kind of, you know, go that route and adapt that mindset?
As a player right now, I don't think that it's too much different. It just takes an extra level of focus and detail and accountability, and everybody holding each other accountable after every game that we've played, especially after the 2 wins that we've had leaders on the team who have reached out to guys, you know, the younger players on the team, just letting everybody know, you know, we got to be on the same page. The coaches be on it every week. You know, we can't get relaxed with the masks and the, you know, the protocols, the testing, the social distancing. We can't get lax with those things in the facility, outside of the facility. After we win games, you know, the leaders on the team are letting guys know, you know, as much as we want to go out and celebrate these wins and enjoy it, you know, you got to kind of just go home and focus on the next week, because one slip up can affect however many people are in this facility on a daily basis. So it just takes an extra level of focus and detail, and you have to really care. You know, if you care about it, and if you care about being here and playing games, then, you know, we'll handle our business, and we have so far. So I think it just speaks to, you know, the level of care that the guys in our locker room have.
A couple questions. Who are those leaders who send that message? I assume it's kind of text message and so on. And how difficult has it been being disciplined and not celebrating those wins?
For me, well, first of all, let me answer your question. So the leaders, I mean, a lot of the older guys, so the Trevon Bradfords, the Jaden Grants, myself, Tristan, a lot of the old linemen, I think all 5 of the old linemen are in there. So it's not really the quote unquote like captains or leaders. It's just everybody on our team has a level of care, you know, for what we do. And after the game, it doesn't even have to be one of the guys that everybody sees as a quote unquote leader. As long as there's somebody who cares enough to send out a text and say, you know, congratulations everybody on the win, but let's refocus. Let's not get relaxed and let this thing kind of spiral out of control, because everybody's excited. We got to kind of keep this thing together and everybody remain focused on the goal that we have at hand, and that's to continue to win football games. So whoever it may be, anybody can send out that text message, and it definitely helps keeping guys locked in and focused. For me, that's never really been an issue. I'm not somebody who likes to go out and party and, you know, do those type of things. That's never really been my personality. So for me, it's not very hard. I've always just gone home after wins and just like to relax. But you know, for some of the guys who are new here and it's their first time being at college, that may be a little bit more difficult. So the older guys, you know, just kind of keep everybody in line and keep everybody focused on our goal.
Please ask your first question.
Hey, Nathan, how cool was it just to see the Pac-12 Player of the Week thing? How big of an, I guess, honor was that for you?
It was awesome. You know, shout out to my other old linemen. I think every single one of them could have gotten that award as well. I mean, every single one of us was playing hard, so we appreciate it.
Yeah, just I guess how proud are you overall of that group from what you guys did against a really tough Oregon kind of front seven?
Super proud. You know, we're gonna we looked at the film, we evaluated it, and now we're on to the next one. It's a new game, new week. So we're making corrections and just trying to get better from that.
What do you think that you guys kind of did particularly well as a group in that game to be so, I guess, just good in the passing game?
Sure. I mean, we were just firing on all cylinders. We were taking some extra time during practice to ask questions or look over things that we needed to kind of cover for this game. And I think we just went out there and executed really well and came out with a win.
What's it like as a group to find out relatively soon before kickoff? I don't know how quickly it was, but that you'd be out without one of your guys. I mean, how does that affect chemistry? How does that affect what you guys do? It didn't seem to bother you at all.
Yeah, I'm super unfortunate, but we always talk about the next man up, and shout out Khalid Montalban. He did a heck of a job. You're exactly right. It was like we hadn't even lost a step, so that was a really good job on his part.
How does that affect you as a center? Are you able to kind of help him out with anything there, or was he just kind of up to speed doing what he needed to do?
No, he was up to speed. Khalid is very good player, and all week was locked in, knew exactly what our scheme was, and he's itching to play as well. So we were happy that he came in and did his part.
What's Chance like in the huddle under center? What's his demeanor like? What's it like playing with him?
He's a calm, cool, collected guy. Sometimes we got on him a little bit about speaking up, but other than that, yeah, he's a good guy.
So he's a little bit quieter than Tristan is, maybe?
Yeah, I think he's just new to it. We got some older guys in the O-line, and we're all breathing heavy and screaming at him, so but yeah, he's doing a really good job, and he's getting more comfortable in there as we keep going. So
does he bring a different element maybe with his legs than Tristan does?
Yeah, I mean, shoot, we'll find out Saturday.
Just overall as a group, this offensive line, how do you think you guys have improved? Like, what do you think you've gotten markedly better at in these past 4 or 5 weeks?
I think, just getting on blocks and staying on guys. Coach M has been preaching on that for us for a while. Not just hitting guys, but staying on them longer and blocking them longer. So Munchie can find those holes.
Yeah, I know you really don't see Jamar until he's probably running past you, but just how impressive has it been to see what he's doing and the way he's taking advantage of some of these blocks?
Man, it's awesome. Jamar is a great player, great guy, and looking forward to what he can do for the rest of us this season.
Sure, you just heard Champ and what he said about kind of playing through the COVID protocols and all that, and kind of taking responsibility. Can you give us insight from your perspective? What's it been like for you?
It was pretty similar. I'm a old head guy too, so kind of just homebody, staying at home, taking care of the legs after games, and but definitely, as Champ was talking about, reaching out to the young guys and making sure that we're keeping them accountable, because their actions could affect what we got going on here. Just kind of reminding everyone that of the bigger picture, that we think we can go pretty far with this, so we want to keep it close and make sure that we're doing all the right things.
What's it like seeing so many other games across the conference get canceled or postponed? And obviously you have Stanford coming to Corvallis now. What's it like watching kind of all that unfold?
Man, it's sad. It sucks missing out and watching those guys play, because, a lot of us know other players on other teams. And so, you hate seeing that, because we all love to play the game.
You've been at this for a long time in the Pac-12 with a lot of different teams. What do you think makes this offensive line maybe unique from any other team that you've played with, if anything?
I think we have really good chemistry between all of us. We're all very close, and really it's just a really good group of guys, hardworking guys that want to get better and want to be great. So, yeah, that's about it, really.